sick.
So fun.
And it was like donation based too.
Sure.
So it's free to get in unless you want to donate, you know.
Very cool. All right, man. So we've been talking for a bit. Tell everybody who you are. You're a local celebrity.
I wouldn't say that, but I'm Kadin Rea.
Yeah.
Play bass in a group called the band Feel,
Yeah.
based out of St. Louis.
Yeah.
But yeah, I grew up in Santa Claus, Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
So I was there from like first grade until I was like 19, 20, and then moved to Evansville. And now I'm kind of in the Evansville area.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've just been kind of doing music for like the last couple of years.
Yeah.
More touring and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been doing music since I was like 14, essentially. So
How does that start as a 14-year-old?
So 14 was whenever I like first joined my first band,
Right.
The Strangers with Lucas, our good buddy. And I just got like a DM from Rylan, our guitarist, just asking me if I liked rock and roll music, and I was like, absolutely. And then they were like the older kids in high school. They're like 2 grades above me.
All right.
So I was like, kind of nervous going in there. But no, we just started jamming out in Lucas's back room, and then started writing songs, and then we put together our first show, and we got like 100 kids from our high school to go, and it was like the most electrifying thing ever, and it was like an addiction from there, dude. It's
Right.
so fun.
Right. No looking back from there.
No,
right?
seriously not. But that was kind of the first start of it. Yeah.
I'm always curious as to, so whenever I was in high school, I played in like 2 or 3 bands too, but,
Okay.
but that's what we did. And when I say we did that, we would like, it just so happened that 4 people that played the various instruments all spent the night at the same house at the same time.
Like you play bass.
And like, exactly. Like, we have a drummer, we have a bass player, we have a guy that doesn't mind to sing. And then we have a guitar player. And then we will, hey, let's do some like 4 songs. And we would record ourselves and all these other things. Somewhere out there, dude, there are some tapes of like,
What's the name? What's the name? I need to know.
Oh, no. It was never got to a point where there was a name. Yeah, it was just like.
So you can't find it.
Yeah, because you broke up whenever your mom came to pick you up.
Got it. Okay. So it was short-lived. It was short-lived.
Yeah. Well, you just didn't have there was no real. You're never. You never put enough into it to play anything live. At least
it's just a fun thing.
It's just a fun thing to do, right?
Yeah.
So,
what did you do?
I played guitar. Yeah.
I love that.
So with the but I was always, it was always cover tunes. Like it was just always, like we played a bunch of GNR and Bush. You know?
That's so cool.
Maybe some Weezer, maybe some stuff like that.
We're just watching Weezer.
No,
yeah.
Yeah. But the ability to write your own songs, and I've talked about this with Lucas too, as the man of 40 lives. But the where does that come from as a 14-year-old? Because it's not like you have like a music theory background at that age, and there's not, I'm assuming that you're not doing that outside of school or and they're certainly not teaching it at school. So where does that come from?
Honestly, I feel like it was kind of what you were saying about whenever you were growing up. It was just like the fun thing to do.
Sure.
Like, there's not a lot to do in Santa Claus. So whenever me, Rylan, Lucas, and Noah got together and we just jammed out, it was just kind of, it started off as just, cover songs. And then, you would kind of extend one section, and then that section you would add a riff to it. And then you're like, okay, we can actually make that riff its own thing or whatever. So yeah, it's more of just, I don't know. It's more of just the thing to do to have fun, and, because at that point, we weren't studying up on how to write a song,
right? Yeah, and I guess that's where. So I'm very much a paralysis by analysis guy, So you're like, where does it like? Okay, well, we wrote these lyrics, or Lucas wrote these lyrics. You're writing the bass line, like knowing what key it's in, or are you just like going after it, and just seeing what sounds right?
I mean, it definitely helps whenever you know the key for sure. No, but
at 14, did you know that?
Yes, I did know that.
Okay,
I did, because I was also in like school band as well.
Yeah,
so
sure.
I was able to like read music and stuff. Not that we did that in our group, but but I did have like a
also
basic
in band, by the way. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Right.
Cool,
yeah.
But no, I had like a basic knowledge of theory at that point.
Yeah.
So I could like figure out keys and chord progressions sections. So I could kind of find my way around, and then you would just kind of take chances every now and then
you know what
chances,
notes fit in this key.
Yeah,
exactly.
Stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then those chances would be, okay, I'll keep that one, leave this one, and then next thing you know, you have your full song.
Sure.
So
I was a bass clef kid. So
same.
So you're a bass clef guy. I played trombone.
Oh, okay.
I played baritone. I played tuba, and I played sousaphone.
Oh my God.
Like marching band stuff.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
But then I got to play guitar in like pep band stuff. So
Yes.
I was. If there was a cool kid in the pep band, it was me.
It was you. Yeah. Yep.
I wasn't
Did you ever
out there
play
on
Crazy Train?
Of course, I played Crazy Train. Are you kidding me?
That's the guitar pep band. That's the one.
Right.
No, I did pep band too.
Yeah.
That was so fun. Yeah.
What was the? Oh gosh, what's the Poison song too? It was like
in pep band.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Talk Dirty to Me.
Okay.
It's like it's just a very distinct, kind of guitar riff in the very beginning.
Okay,
It's just easy to like throw out between free throws or something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's the White Stripes. I'm sure it's the White Stripes. Yeah, Crazy Train was.
That was the
every
one.
time out, every.
Yep, that was the one, man. Yep, and you would always just try to shred to make sure everyone looks over and sees you.
It's funny that you mentioned that because my iTunes will put like replay your top 25 songs always within like the 70th or 80th is always Crazy Train.
Yeah.
Like it still makes the list.
It's still consistent. It's one of those songs where it's not your first choice.
Right, yeah.
But it makes the list.
But it's funny, if you go back through the years, like every list that I have, Clincher by Chevelle is on there. Wood by Alice in Chains and like Crazy Train.
Dude, so good. So good. Those are good choices.
There's worse, right?
Totally. Absolutely. Yeah.
So Strangers is the killer. We love all that stuff. Great show a couple months ago. Lucas, when's that footage coming out, Lucas? Soon.
Stay tuned, everybody.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Bated breath.
It is cool.
So that's cool. But then the band Feel.
Yeah.
Was that you Strangers does their thing, fuse runs out, and then we jump to the band Feel?
Yeah, so Tyler, the guitarist in Feel, he hit me up on Instagram, like I guess the Strangers as well. It was like summer of 2024, and basically they had gotten a tour with a band called Dirty Honey, and their current bass player at that point, he had a lot of stuff going on in his life, and he just couldn't make it happen for like a certain amount of shows. So they needed a fill-in. So I learned all the material in like 2 days, and I barely slept because I would
just like jumping at the opportunity.
Yeah, because I was also a fan of them at this point. Because we had been like listening to them. We were gonna do like a show with them, and then it just fell through. It was a whole thing. But no, I stayed up for like essentially 48 hours almost straight and just learned all the material, and then sent them a video of just me performing it front to back. And then they were like, yeah, we feel comfortable with you doing these like 8 shows. And then slowly the 8 shows became like, hey, can you do these? Can you do these?
More the reliable
and
bass
then
player,
and then eventually their bassist just had to step away. So then I just became like the full-time guy. So
it's the evolution of all this stuff, because now you're getting DMs when you used to have, like there were literally ads and papers, or you would have like a and it still exists to this day. News for You was around back in the day, and then people would take out ads like looking for a drummer, looking for a singer for a metal band that's trying to get together or whatever. So now it's the DM thing. So I can't imagine what the band that you're listening to that you kind of dig on, it like sends you a message like, hey, we need a bass player.
It was cool,
like,
man.
Oh my God.
It was cool. Yeah.
So what does, in 48 hours learning their material, are you just listening to it and then kind of coming?
So yes.
Okay.
Luckily, since I was a fan of theirs, I had some of the songs, like I knew how the structures went.
Right, okay.
So I knew kind of how it's supposed to sound. But the music, it's not necessarily just super straightforward. It's not just like chord, A, then B, then or whatever. It's like very riff based, and then there's like improv sections that I would learn. So it was very like I had to pay attention to every detail, and I was definitely willing to do that. And then my first show with them was actually not supposed to happen the way it did. It was a July 4th show underneath the arch in St. Louis. And Tyler, he asked me if I could do it July 2nd. And I was like, oh my God. Like, yes, I'm going to say yes and figure it out later.
Sure, absolutely.
So I say yes,
right on. Yes.
touch up on everything.
Yeah.
Then I show up, and I had only ran through a couple of the songs with Tyler, just me and him on like acoustics beforehand. So then I met the drummer TJ, met the singer Garrett, and my like first time ever playing with the whole group was the show. Like we didn't even have like a sound check. It was just like a line check.
Come on, you're up, kid.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so and luckily it all went well, but it was just super hot too. It was like the hottest show I've ever played. The sun was hitting the arch and then it was going right down on us.
There's definitely no shade, right?
Oh,
yeah,
no.
just a big reflective arch over top of it.
Oh, dude, it was like 105 degrees or something like that. So it was miserable, but it was so fun.
Right on the river.
So,
right, yeah.
But no.
So whenever you're going through that process, because now you're in, right?
Yeah.
I mean, now you're the bass player for the band Feel.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
I love the name too, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
That's
dude.
very cool. But but very unique sound, very unique, kind of throwback is probably, kind of a word to it, but definitely, an evolution from what I've witnessed. So, like I've lived through, I was born in 76. So, music has always been a huge part of my life. So I remember like listening to, House of the Holy and Led Zeppelin 4 and, Kansas and all that, like on vinyl, like before when it was just vinyl, like that's all you had was vinyl. And, and then going through 80s and then 80s hair rock and then and then
the 90s
the early
grunge
90s
thing.
grunge thing and then late 90s kind of stuff and then
Yep.
post-hardcore, metalcore and all this other kind of stuff that's kind of come through. And now we're circling back to a lot of those things. So and the band Feel really kind of personifies that throwback kind of thing. So tell everybody describe the band Feel.
Yeah. It's kind of, it's hard to do that.
It's true musicianship too, by the way, like true musicianship.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Dude. Thank you so much.
Right, yeah.
I feel like our first two EPs that we had released were definitely more more influenced by the 70s kind of thing. And now we just released our first full-length album like this last Friday. And I feel like that has been more of a natural progression kind of coming out of that, but still having like callbacks to like, I mean, anything rock music is going to be, associated with 70s, 80s, 90s,
right, yeah.
But I feel like it's a natural step forward for, the genre in itself. Because whenever I listen to it, there's not a lot of songs that I'm like, okay, I could see like a 70s band just like releasing this as itself. Now I could see like maybe a guitar riff or something like that, or the vibe of it being released back in the day. But I don't know. I feel like we're starting to kind of come out of the more direct tide to like, oh, that's like a 70s kind of reiteration,
right,
you know?
Well, it's definitely, it's establishing itself now.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's a couple of bands out there now that are just, this is a whole other genre now. If you like this vibe, here you go. Here's these 5 or 6 bands that you really need to pay attention to.
Right.
But I'm always just incredibly fascinated by the songwriting process and putting all the pieces together. I mean, it's art, it's an absolute art. But, watching, like I'm a Tool fan, so I'm a big fan of like knowing how that process works. So you have like, Danny Carey does this crazy drum stuff, and then the Adam guy, they these crazy guitar parts in, and then this all gets filled out, and then we listen to lyrics, or lyrics come to them, and then they kind of backfill a lot of that stuff. What is the process like for you guys?
For us, it's the primary songwriters are Tyler and Garrett, our singer and guitarist. They kind of like write somewhat separately, and then they send like voice memos to each other. Then they'll send those to us, and then I'll add my bass parts in. TJ will do his thing, and then we'll come together, whether it's like a rehearsal or just sound check or whatever, and we'll
because
just
you guys
jam it out.
It's not like you all live in St.
No,
Louis. Right?
no, yeah. I should say like the band's like based out of St. Louis, but no one's actually like from there,
right? Yeah.
So it's kind of a little bit misleading.
Yeah. It's just the place where everybody can meet up.
It's kind of the meeting spot, yeah. And it's not even in St. Louis. It's like one of the towns outside of it. So, but yeah, so it's a lot of writing separately and then kind of coming together and figuring it out during sound checks or rehearsals and stuff like that. And then honestly, playing live is the biggest thing because we don't shy away from playing unreleased stuff live. And honestly, it helps kind of shape the song because I mean, there's songs that are on this album that we've been playing for a year and a half now, and the first iteration of those songs were like way different, whether it was like the feel of the drums or something, or even like the verses or whatever. But now it's like final form, or I guess not. I shouldn't say that because they'll still like evolve with jam sections and that kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, so it's a lot of playing live and rehearsals and writing separately.
Is there the football team watching tape after the game? Are you guys listening to those songs afterwards to like see what you could do differently, or is it just something that hey, this is good, we'll see what happens with it next time kind of thing?
I think it's a little bit of that. It's not as intentional. Like it's more of like whenever you do something in the moment and you feel that it's right, we'll kind of like make eye contact and it's like, okay, that was cool.
I nailed it.
And then
remember this.
So and then like next time around, you might try to like replicate that or try something a little bit different, but in the same vein. And it just kind of naturally grows, which is super cool. It's really cool whenever you go into it and you don't have a set structure plan of like, okay, this is going to happen, and this is going to happen. Which also leaves a lot of room for, huge mistakes, which is fine because it's live music,
Right.
But
and nobody notices but you guys, right?
Right. Yeah. Most of the time. Most of the time.
Lucas
sometimes
would probably notice.
Sometimes there can be some big things happen, but no, most of the time, no one really notices.
So that's the live part of it. So you guys just released your first full-length album on this past Friday. It's fantastic.
What of Now?
That's what I was telling you beforehand. It got me through my Columbus trip the other week,
thanks,
so
dude.
it was beautiful. But what is that process like? I mean, generically, we've all seen it, right?
Yeah.
We've all watched, Rick Rubin in studio with so and so, right? We've all seen footage of that. But from a personal standpoint, what is that process like now?
Like the recording process? Yeah. So we were over in Smokestack Studio in Nashville in January. At the beginning of this year, and that's whenever we recorded the full thing. And we kind of went into it with like probably 6 songs, like fully finished lyrics, music, and everything. And we were there for 3 weeks, which kind of allowed us to have a little bit of time to figure out the other songs. It was a lot of pressure, honestly, going into it because we knew that we had to, finish like 6 more songs or 5 more songs to actually make a record. But that pressure kind of like, I feel like it really pushed us to make what it is now. What it is now. It's funny, but no, it's so we kind of just had 6 songs fully done, and then the others we just kind of figured out. There's one song where we didn't even think it was going to be on the album, but our producer Paul Moak, he heard the voice memo and was like, "No, we got to do it. We got to do something. So we're going to do it." So and that ended up being Heavy Echo, which is like the last song on the album, which is one of my favorites. So
fitting, right?
Yes.
Wrap this one up at the very end.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
it's each and every podcast of the Optimize You Studio is sponsored by Optimize You Evansville. At Optimize You Evansville, we help you take control of your health, performance, and vitality through cutting-edge hormone optimization, peptide therapy, athletic recovery, weight loss, and sexual health solutions. Whether you're an athlete looking to maximize recovery, someone striving for sustainable weight loss, or just looking to feel like your best self again, we used advanced diagnostics and personalized treatment plans to get you there. Our science-backed approach helped optimize energy levels, mental clarity, muscle recovery, and overall well-being. Because feeling great isn't optional, it's essential. You ready to elevate your potential? Let's get started today at Optimize You Evansville, where normal is not optimal. It's fascinating to me to look into that part of it. So, even like the timelines of these things. So you guys book 3 weeks of studio time, right? So you have like this Monday to this Friday, 3 weeks from now to get this done. You know, you show up with 6, you end up with 12, and those final 6 get written while you're there, right? Do you feel like it's because that? I mean, obviously, it's going to work a whole lot better with you guys all in the same space. But do you stay there for those 3 weeks?
Yeah, so we would stay in like an Airbnb for the whole 3 weeks, which is super fun because you know on weekends we're not in the studio, so we can kind of just go explore the city. And then after studio time, you can go see a show, you know, hang out with friends or whatever. But no, being in the same space definitely helps with songwriting, like kind of finishing things that we need to, you know. Like I remember Garrett a few nights would be up in the Airbnb like literally at 2 a.m. and he's recording voice memos, like trying to figure out the parts, and I'm trying to sleep in my bed and he's the room over just wailing. But it was worth it. The lost sleep was worth it. We got the record done. So, but no,
So the actual process, the in-studio process, I mean, we've all seen that. Like, you got the headphones on, you're in the booth, you're doing your own thing, and everybody's recording their separate tracks, and then you're done with it sometime a third week in January, right? And now here it is, like late August. So the time frame that somebody is producing that. And then the process of making, did you release it on vinyl and all that stuff too?
So we have vinyl for sale right now, and people are just now getting their pre-orders in. Super excited for it. Tyler kind of led the charge on designing all of it. But we actually made it to where it's 2 different discs in the same thing because it was too much music for it to fit on one without it sounding like crap. But this one, we have like a lot more in-depth things like lyric sheets and pictures from like behind the scenes things and everything.
Which I would add to our collection.
Dude, that'd be so fun.
The album pressing is my personal evidence of alien technology. Lucas and I have had this conversation before.
I don't get it. No.
Yeah, so you don't get it.
No.
You're in the industry.
Yes.
I still think that, like, how did they figure this out?
No, we went to the place where they make it in Detroit, and they were showing us everything and explaining everything, and I was trying my hardest to follow along, and I just couldn't understand. It was so crazy. I don't know.
I'm with you.
I don't know. Someone can try to explain it to me.
I just
again,
write it off as alien technology. I just think that's what happened.
You got to chalk it up to something. You know, that's got to be it.
Right.
So
I agree.
That's funny.
I agree. So the now 8-month process or 7-month process, call it, of the actual release part of it. Did it feel the build up to your first album release, you know, with this band anyway? What's that feeling like? Is it anticlimactic because it's so far removed from the actual process?
It's a lot of like anticipation, and I wanted it to be out in like April. It was like I just want to get it out, you know, but it just timelines would not work out that way, and you need to have some build up time and single releases and everything. So it's like some of these songs we've been playing for a year and a half, so it's like not new to us, but it's going to be new to everybody else. So it's like you just want it to get out. And ultimately, I think it panned out the way it should have. But it's a lot of kind of nerves as well, like hoping that people like it, hoping that people listen to it. But really just like I was super anxious to just get it out. You know what I mean? I just wanted it to be out and into the world. So it was kind of a long 8 months for me.
It's just the long just sitting there waiting, and now, you know, you get to, like, I got my Apple, like my notification that the Band Feels new album is out now, ready for download or whatever. So whenever I see those things, I'm like, oh sweet, you know, that kind of thing, you know. But I can imagine like, finally, you know, kind of thing, you know, and just
especially like we got back the final masters like sometime in the summer, so it was like probably June or something like that. So we had the masters for like 2, 3, 4 months in advance. So the album was ready. It was just sitting. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's whenever you just really want it to be out because you know it's done. You know it's done. But
I've got some if you want some.
It's like you have to go through the process. You got to make everybody happy.
So I mean, I've heard a couple of different opinions on, like, especially the way like digital streaming is nowadays. You know, is that the kind of the philosophy or psychology of releasing singles instead of like a whole album. So like you kind of leak it out because each one gets plays, you know, and the more times you get played, whatever, however that works, you know. But there's some bands that aren't really, they're like, we're not releasing albums anymore. We're just going to keep cranking out these singles. Yeah. I mean, does that echo with you guys, or I mean, like, how does that?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely a weird age that we're in with music. I do think albums are starting to come back, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I think people are pretty tired of just like the kind of surface level, just like singles being released all the time. We're definitely not really a single band. Like, we'll release singles, but we would much prefer people to listen to it in the context of the record.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right,
just because we view the whole album as an artwork in itself.
Yes.
And it's like if you give someone a single, you're showing them a little piece of the artwork, but it kind of plays into the whole context of the storyline behind it, and like it's just like a whole thing.
Yeah, there's been a couple of times where a band has elected to kind of put out this single, and you listen to it, I'm like, it doesn't make sense to me. Yeah. Like I feel like this was almost like an interlude between like track 2 and track 4, but you released track 3 as a single, and it's like, oh, I don't. This is not enticing me, or just doesn't make me excited to be, kind of wait for the next one to come out.
Totally, yeah.
But I totally get the financial decision behind it. I guess so.
It's also weird because you typically want to release like your most like commercial friendly songs as your
radio
singles.
friendly stuff, right?
But then if you do that and you only release those, you're kind of more deep, tracks on there. People may be super thrown off by it because they may expect the whole album to just be like the 3-minute catchy hook songs, you know?
Yeah.
Like on this album, we have like a 10-minute long song with like, ups and downs. And we have like acoustic songs. We have interludes and everything. So it's kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
And so if you just release like 3 commercial rock songs,
right,
people are going to get the wrong idea.
Right, no, I did. Yeah, I never even thought about it like that way.
And then if you do the opposite and you release like the 10-minute long song, people are like, I'm not going to listen to this. Like, it's going to be a 3-hour album.
This is the one they picked to release. My
exactly. God. Yeah. So
is there even an album left after this?
Yes. Is this the album? So it's kind of a weird balance. Like,
right. Yeah.
It's hard to figure it out.
It's things you never think about.
Yeah. That's why I just want to release the album.
Right.
You know?
That's a good point. Yeah. I mean, and I do appreciate the here is our piece of art. It's not the top corner of the Mona Lisa, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
I can look at it and kind of guess because I know what the band feels like. What you guys sound like, and I know what Garrett's voice sounds like, and what his the guitar riff and all this other stuff. But I wanted to see the whole thing. Yes. Like I want the whole piece. So yeah, that makes sense. What other kind of? So I mean, again, to me, again, living through all of these kind of generational kind of music genre kind of stuff, and coming back to it where it's like you guys, actual musicians, actual guys playing, and I'm not cutting down on anything right now, but I mean I'm kind of the old geezer of the bunch now at this point, so it like actual music. So I'm like looking at our collection here. I see Black Pumas, I see Smashing Pumpkins, System of a Down, and Alice in Chains. All and Weezer is down there at the bottom, but it's like true musicians, right? Like there's nothing. It's all raw stuff, right? Yeah. So, and you guys hit that as well, Oh, I can't forget our buddies, the Chugs, raw musicians,
dude.
Fantastic guys, right?
Yeah, love the Chugs.
What challenges do you have? And I don't want to sound cliche, but like what challenges as actual raw musicians do you face these days?
I think one of our biggest challenges is more of like the live aspect, in a sense of like whenever we're jamming and we don't have a certain structure for something. This is also kind of the best part of it too, is that it kind of leaves room for kind of what I was talking about earlier, like huge failures. Like if you try something, it just falls flat and you're in front of, hundreds of people. Or it could create this beautiful moment that people, will hopefully remember forever. It's just taking those risks. There's a lot of, music out there nowadays, which there's nothing wrong with this at all. But like playing to like tracks and stuff like that. And like they know like exactly like the plan for the song.
Yeah.
And since we're not like that, it just leaves a lot of room for error, but also I feel like it brings the ceiling of the moments up as well.
Right.
So I would say that's kind of the most scary part. It may not be like the biggest challenge, but it's scary to like dive into it, you know? Because sometimes you get in your head of like, okay, what should I play?
Right, yeah.
And as soon as I start thinking about, okay, what should I play is whenever the fails happen.
Yeah,
so.
I feel like, so, I mean, I went and saw Linkin Park, you know, with the chick singer here recently, just because it was again, Linkin Park was my time, you know, so, and I wanted to give the chick singer a chance. No offense, but she was great. But you know, it's very prefab. Like I know exactly what's going to happen. The only thing that they are going to make exciting about it, there's not going to be a 2 or 3 minute solo in the middle of in the end, right? Yeah, they may do something with the lights and all these other kinds of things. So, but everything seems just very prefab kind of stuff. Whereas like you guys coming back into it, you said it beautifully. Like, hey, we're going to go through that. We're on this like 6 or 7 minute just riff on each other.
Yeah, journey almost. You know,
it may get a little loose at times, but if it's tight, and everybody's going to know it, right? Yeah. And the loose part, I mean, some people will notice it.
They'll forget it.
Right.
You know, if you have a good moment, they'll forget it.
Right,
you know?
Sure, right.
So.
Yeah. So yeah, I dig on that. Yeah. I think that we're coming back to a time where the genre of music that you guys are in and a lot of the musicianship is starting to come back.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that too is like a lot of pushback to the more commercialized, you know, I guess songs where you know exactly what's going to happen, or like the live performances,
right?
And even like AI music, it's like a straight up just 180 from that. Like bands like Geese, like I don't know if you've heard of Geese or not, but they are just wild, like all over the place. I'm really into them now, but it's such a 180 from, you know, any sort of commercial rock in like the 2010s, you know?
Right.
So that's what I dig. And I think the best part about it too is that Geese's biggest fan base is like young people, you know? So it's like they're really coming back to the roots of it and just true musicianship.
Yeah. So so my college days was like Widespread Panic. Like everybody went and saw Widespread Panic. I've seen Widespread Panic a million times. Yeah. They do the same show a lot of times, but like they're those guys that do that. I mean, 6 or 7 minutes would be
they're jam
for them.
band.
Like they're doing like 25 minutes on you know, like the end of a song, and it's
so
like
good.
Right? But I respecting that part of it, I think is starting to come back because I can tell you. So my son is 18, my daughter is 20. You know, they're both college students at this point, and they're like, they want you. You know, they love the Chugs. You know, they love the Strangers. You know, we went and saw She the other night. Like all of these, you know, like
that's so cool.
Actual rock bands. You know, they want the musicianship. They don't want the prefab stuff, playing off the track kind of stuff. You know, and that happens. And I understand. I guess I can understand even from the, you know, non-musical guy. You know, that why you would need to do that, but. The fact that you don't do that, you know, is really. I'm not mad that you do it, but the fact that you don't, is really more of a.
I gotcha.
It gets me more like, that's great. Yeah,
more
we're coming
amped,
back, right? You know?
For sure,
coming back.
Yeah, I get that 100%.
The business of music, and we kind of alluded to this a little bit before. I don't know, maybe we were rolling. Maybe we might cut it a little bit. We'll come back to it. Like in the digital streaming age. What is the financial status of band work at this point? You know, where does that come from?
Well, I'm still learning that 100%. You know, I'm still learning that side of things. I'm very new to that. But obviously, streaming doesn't pay like anything compared to what it did with albums and stuff.
Yeah.
But so you'll get a little bit from streaming. But honestly, a lot of it comes from the touring and everything like that, and that's why merch is so big, and that's why bands are always pushing. You know, buy the shirt and everything, support the artists, because streaming is just like the pay is just non-existent almost.
Right. Yeah, I really think that the streaming, living back through the whole Metallica Napster kind of thing, back in the day, I really do feel like that. And I don't know, and I'm sure that's the way it was going at the point, but I really do feel like the pushback from that just really kind of shot music in the foot a lot of time in a lot of ways, because we're so adamant about hanging on to something that was going away. You know, we love the record stores, we love the physical media.
Yeah.
You know, we love going and buying the new compact disc. You know, at the time, but evolution dictates it's going away.
Yeah.
You know, and this is the new way of that.
Yeah.
You need to find a way to embrace it, prepare for it, evolve with it.
Yeah.
Be an advocate for, okay, we know what you're doing, but we're going to stand up for our art, and this is what it needs to happen, other than saying like, we're going to do this anyway.
Yeah.
And then we're just, you know, I mean, I remember like, you know, Laws Ulrich, you know, in courtrooms, you know, like just blowing up at him. I'm like, you just got to embrace it, dude. It's the evolution of things.
Yeah. Luckily, I think that people are really starting to get back into like vinyl and stuff like that, which is super cool.
Yeah.
But no, I'm very envious of like people in your generation who would like, I want to experience like my favorite band dropping an album, and I'm like camping out outside of the store to like
the best.
I can't even imagine, like now it's almost too easy now.
Oh, yeah,
It's like I just open my phone at midnight and I just hit download and then I'm listening to the whole album like immediately before I even go to sleep.
Yeah.
You know, I want to experience like the adrenaline rush of having to work to go get it. You know,
you need to camp for tickets.
I know,
Everybody in a lifetime needs to camp for
I've
tickets.
never done that.
Still,
Still,
it's so great. Yeah, I mean, it's the best stories ever. But the, you know, in like leaving class and driving to Cincinnati to Bogarts and like buying, like not bootleg, but scalped tickets, you know, to like kind of stuff. You're like, now I can just get on my phone and do it, you know. Yeah. There is something lost to that, but from a fan's standpoint, you know, that was a lot of fun back then,
right?
You know,
yeah, and
it was
now,
a lot of experience too, you know, just.
And now it's a lot more convenient,
right.
but you know, part of me wants to experience that for a little bit. You know, I'm sure I would want to go
open
back
up
to
a
this.
theme park and we could do that.
There we go.
It was just like a 90s theme park.
I'd go to it.
Right.
I'd go to it.
You have to camp out for tickets
for tickets and stuff.
Pro Jam tickets or something like that.
Yeah,
yep.
I think the audience on that would be kind of small, but
that's okay.
But we could try it out.
We could just a short run. Just open it for like 3 months.
I'm into it, man. I'll do it. I'm into it. That's funny.
Well, tell us about what's next for the band Feel. So you have an album out now.
Yeah. Well, right now we have a few more one-off gigs like throughout the weekends. Then we just announced, I think it was like 6 or 8 headline shows for October. So we'll be doing some Florida dates there, Pittsburgh, Washington, D.C. So those will be fun. And then after that, in November, we're going out with Cheap Trick, and we're opening up for them.
Nice.
But I'm so excited for that, dude. It's going to be so fun. I think we're doing like 8 shows with them.
Yep.
And that's more of a Midwest run. So
yeah, Cheap Trick, God bless them. You know, because they were they were like the quintessential opening act of the 90s.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. So I mean, I bet I've seen Cheap Trick more. It's almost like Volbeat now. Like Volbeat is like Volbeat is great. They have a huge following. But they're like the quintessential opener or like the second act or something like that.
I know at festivals they're always like third to last.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So. Yeah. They're great. They're great live. They nail it. And Cheap Trick was the same way.
Yeah.
I saw Cheap Trick. I think probably they opened up for a ton of bands in the 90s, you know. They opened up for Stone Temple Pilots.
That's so cool.
You know, like back in the day.
STP rocks.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Man.
Yeah. I'm excited for it. They rock, man.
Yeah.
Their bassist, he has like this 12-string bass that I really want to check out.
How does the neck on that thing?
Dude,
I don't even know how that works.
There's actually
do you have
one
to come to the top.
Yeah, so there's actually one in the studio where we record at.
Oh,
and so I was like playing around with it, and I was gonna use it on a song. I think it was "Hands in My Pocket." But I could not like hold down the notes for the life of me. The action was so.
Oh, I bet,
dude. It was like giving me cramps.
Oh yeah,
it was. So I don't know how he does
I don't know
it.
how you do that,
but I really hope I get somewhat close enough to him to where I could like try it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pay attention to that.
Yeah,
watch a show and see if it how that even
but yeah, we're doing like a Midwest run with them, which would be great because they're like from the Midwest.
Yeah.
So I think those will be some really fun shows.
There'll be some packed shows. Yeah,
St. Louis and Cincinnati, I think, are the closest ones that we're doing.
Awesome.
So
we will road trip it out to you guys.
Dude, that'd be fun, man.
Oh yeah,
that'd be super fun.
Be so much
I think
fun.
Cincinnati's like the Taft Theater, and then St. Louis is the Factory.
Yep,
both great.
Cincinnati was always our go-to back in the day.
Yeah,
because Cincinnati, Bogarts in Cincinnati.
I've played there before.
Yeah, it's still around. Yeah, always got great bands.
They do.
Like in the late '90s, and it was like super easy to get to.
Yeah,
you know, it was like right there downtown. You could get off of there. And then we would leave class, go to a show, and then drive back that night. You know,
there's actually a live show on YouTube that I go back to quite often at Bogarts, and it's Alice in Chains.
Oh yeah,
and seeing them, oh my god, like on that stage, it's because that club is like it's probably around 800 cap, maybe 1,000 cap. So like seeing them in like their like environment is so cool.
Oh yeah,
and that show rocked.
Yeah,
too.
I saw. Probably my favorite concert I went to there was we saw Weezer there.
Nice,
like Blue Album week. No, it was Pinkerton Weezer.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so it was.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
So fucking cool, man.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
Bogarts rocks.
Cool, man. Well, on socials, the band feel I know is Instagram, right? Is that your Instagram handle?
Yeah, the band feel.
Band feel. Look on there, find them. Come check them out.
Please.
Download the new album.
Yeah. Come see us live.
Come see you live.
Yeah.
Buy the T-shirt when you do.
Buy the T-shirt.
Buy the T-shirt when you do.
Still stream the music.
Still stream the music. Yeah. Still stream. Yeah. You don't have a record player in your car, so
that's just true.
So stream the music.
Yeah.
But buy the physical media. Buy the T-shirt. Support real musicians.
Yes. Yeah. We just came out with a new merch drop too, so we're super excited for that.
And is that on your website? Or
yeah.
Is it, okay.
Yeah. So and that should just be thebandfield.com.
Okay.
I believe so.
Cool, man.
Well, cool, man. I appreciate
thanks,
you
man, for coming in, dude.
Thank you for having me, dude. I appreciate you.
All right. Thanks a lot.